Skyfall is the next installment in the new, rejuvenated Bond franchise directed by Mendes. This story tells the Bond where he's a little bit rusty, and M is keeping a little secrets from him that he doesn't know about. And I went into this movie just to look at it by itself. I didn't want to compare it to anything. I know it's hard because Casino Royale is such a good movie, not just a Bond movie, but overall a good movie as well. But I just want to go into this movie by itself. Now, what I was expecting was something that was better than Quantum of Solace from what I've heard, and I've seen a little bit of it, and it just didn't do it for me, so I just stopped watching the movie altogether. But one of the good things about these new Bond movies is Daniel Craig. I mean, he's my favorite Bond as of now. Back in the day when I was a kid, my favorite Bond was Sean Connery. Now I gotta hand it to Daniel Craig. He's really done a fantastic job with the character. He's really dove into the Ian Fleming written version of the James Bond, the way he was written. It really gives you that darker side to his character, really a broken version of the character. It's not like before in the other movies where you think Bond's just this slick guy who just goes around and gets any woman he wants. This time he's a guy who's broken, and he's not the same guy you've seen last time in Casino Royale. From what, like I said, from my standpoint, it goes Casino Royale to this one. I'm just ignoring Quantum of Solace. But yeah, really great performance by Daniel Craig. And Judi Dench returns as M. Fantastic performance by her as well. What I like about M and James Bond is that they have a really good relationship, and it has a little bit of vibe of like mother-son type of relationship, and I really like that aspect there. Also, when I don't want to get into detail, but there's a little scene where Bond talks about his parents and all that. It's really interesting to get that little backstory of how Bond was as a kid to being this sleek spy that he is now, and I like that little tidbit at the end of the movie, not the end, but the second half of the film. What I also like is the cinematography in this film. Roger Deakins, man, this guy, he does a really fantastic job with the cinematography. The way this movie looks, it looks fantastic, very gritty, very realistic look to it. It really engages you into the film itself. It doesn't just feel like a Bond film. It feels like a really dramatic feel to it, look to it. And I'm not the guy to pick out cinematography and the way film looks, but I with Mendes and, for example, Nolan and Fincher, what they do with the movies, that they give the movie such a realistic feel to it. Very, very engaging quality to the look of the movie, and what Roger Deakins does, that, like I said, he gives you a feel that you actually are in this setting of where Bond travels. It's just really, really great lighting, great look to it, great feel to the movie, and I like that aspect a lot. Another thing that stands out to me is Javier Bardem as Silva. This guy is crazy. He's crazy. He's nuts, man. And looking at all the Bond films, how corny they were back then, and just corny, laughable villains, and now we get this guy who's very serious, and he's like Bond. He's broken as well, and like there's a little shadiness between him and M. I'm not going to get into detail with that, but really shadiness there. And his character, man, he's just twisted. Oh man, just fantastic performance by Javier Bardem. And one of the shots that I love, the shot that I love, is when Bond is just sitting there, and then they show Javier Bardem just. There's no zoom in frame. There's no camera cutting. No nothing. It's just Javier Bardem slowly walking in front of the screen, and it just pans out. It's just him walking all the way up until you see him face first, and he just gives this little speech to Bond. It's just really how do I say? It's a little awkward at first how he approaches Bond, but it's a very dodgy type of conversation between the two. That's really cool. And the action set pieces are great, really well done. Overall, like I said, there's so many things to talk about. The story with the cyber terrorism and just all the hackings that go into the system of MI6. It's just really interesting to see that Bond is where he belongs in this realistic world. No goofiness, but like I said, there's a lot. What I like what Mendes does here is that there's a lot of hints and a lot of standout moments for the old Bond movies. There's a lot of references here and there. I like that. It's a really good, really well done movie. It's not just a Bond film, but a fantastic film overall. It is long, 2 hours and 23 minutes, but overall a fantastic film. I'm going to give this one an A+. I mean, it's just fantastic cinematography, solid acting, great dialogue, fantastic writing. It never slows down a bit. This movie picks up scene after scene. It doesn't slow down. You don't feel like you're out of a movie. You got to go into this movie and just say, all right, I'm going to watch it with an open mind. You can't watch this thing casually. You can't sit back and just say, I'm going to watch it. Otherwise, you're going to get bored and you just want to get up and leave. If you're not a type of person that likes to sit through these movies and just pay attention and not talk and not say anything, then this movie's not for you. Just saying. But I'm the guy who likes to go into a movie and just watch it and just let it go through its possession without saying anything, without arguing, without complaining. Just watch the whole thing, and then I'll have my thoughts after. So overall, fantastic film. My favorite Bond film of all time. Casino Royale is up there, but I gotta put this on top. It just has a feeling to it. It just gives you a feeling of just, I don't know. It's really hard to word. It's just you got to see this film for yourself. A+ for Skyfall. Fantastic film. Like I said, everything about this film is great. Just go see it for yourself, and it's just a overall great time with the movies. So that's it. Please comment below. Let me know what your thoughts are, and please no spoilers. Thank you, and that's it. Peace.